Meghan.
Megan's my boss, but she's also a climbing coach here at the Rock Club.
Megan is the head and founder of Team Rock.
She's been my coach, she's been my boss, she's been my friend for a while now.
She's someone people look to for guidance.
Meghan is my friend, but also a head coach of the Team Rock, our competitive climbing team.
She's one of the best climbing coaches in the world.
My name is Meghan McDonald, and I'm from Montana, but I live in New York. I moved to New York in 2000 to come to Fordham for school. So I played soccer at Fordham in 2004. Didn't know I was going to stick around, but here we are, 2019. I started climbing when I was a long time ago. I started climbing when I was 14, and it was in Nashville at just the tiniest, it wasn't even a gym, it was a wall. It was at Vanderbilt, actually, at the Student Rec Center. So we've come a long way in climbing gyms for sure. And so I think it was, you had to be 15 or something, and I was 12, and I would stare at the wall, and I had to do it. I climbed trees all the time. I knew I wanted to do it, and I couldn't, and I would just stare at it, and eventually, I think they just lied and said that I was old enough to do it, and they eventually got me in, and I just remember climbing for hours. There were only, I think, 3 top ropes on this little tiny 20-foot wall, and I just climbed and climbed and climbed. I thought, this is so easy, I could do this forever, and I just did, and then I went home to do my homework, and I couldn't even hold a pencil. My hands were just so pumped, and it was amazing. I love rope climbing. Rope climbing is probably my favorite. Mostly sport climbing. I love going to the Red River Gorge. I love climbing outside, but living in New York, the Gunks is amazing, so trad climbing feels really natural and challenging in kind of a different way that makes it a lot easier to just relax and enjoy being outside. And I think climbing is it's really hard, and that's part of what I really love about it, is it's a constant challenge. It's a constant challenge physically, mentally, emotionally. And so for me, I think over the years, the biggest challenge has been probably just the mental fortitude to keep going when I've had injuries. It's really hard, and I have this kind of picture of myself as a climber, and it's hard to not meet my own expectations. And so just realizing how much climbing means to me beyond what I'm climbing. God, I can't even begin to say the most rewarding part of climbing. Climbing for its just natural sake is so rewarding. For me, it's it's the movement that I love. I love the texture of the holds on my hand. I love how my body feels on the wall. I love reading routes and figuring them out, and just that mental challenge all the time. So rewarding is probably just when I really am not sure I can do something, and I feel like stopping, I feel like it's not gonna happen, and I do it anyway, and I persevere through that moment of thinking that I can't, and I just shut that away and keep going. And whether it's finishing a climb or not, that moment where I've decided to push past it is probably the most rewarding for me personally as a climber.
And talk it up yeah.
pictures. Getting caught for the
My name's Logan Castro, and I've been here at the Rock Club for around 5 or 6 years, and working with Meghan as a coach for around 5 years now. She knows how to work with absolutely anyone. She can take any kid of any age, or probably any adult for that matter, and if they love climbing and they're willing to work hard and put in all of their effort, she'll work with them. It's not hard for her. It's natural. She has been coaching climbing since she was 14.
You know, I was literally 14 years old. I didn't have a lot of experience, but there was a mom there who I saw belaying incorrectly, and I was like, oh man, I should do something. So I talked to her and showed her how to belay, and she told the manager there to hire me. And so they hired me pretty much on the spot, and I've been teaching climbing literally since then. And coaching in other sports too. So I think I've been coaching forever. I've been working in climbing forever, but I started really coaching, and coaching became my passion when I started here. So it was in 2006, and I don't think that Dave, our owner, anticipated what a climbing team was going to be like, but I'm so grateful that he gave me the opportunity to run with it and to start a team, and I started the team back in 2006, so I've been doing it since then. I think really coaching for me satisfies almost everything I've ever wanted to do professionally. I get to be a teacher every day, I get to be a mentor every day, I get to, I'm not a doctor obviously, but I get to, work with injuries and try to help people recover through that. And I guess for me, I get to hopefully be impactful every day. I get to influence the lives of a lot of people every day, and I love it. And so it's incredibly fulfilling, and I think it does hopefully a lot of good, and that matters to me.
I wouldn't know anything I know now if it wasn't for Meghan. She taught me how to climb. She taught me how to work with kids. She taught me how to work with difficult kids, for that matter. Anytime that I was in a wave of stress, I could always look to Meg, and she would help me figure it out. I still remember my first time going to nationals with her in like 2015, 2014, I think it was, in Georgia, and I was completely terrified. And we were in isolation, where we work with kids to get them warmed to go and ready to climb. And I had no idea what to do, and she automatically trained me. She was like, all right, you're just gonna do the regular thing that you always do, Logan. Just get them warm, that's it. Don't think too hard about it. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's not like nationals is a really big deal, that's okay.
My name is Jordan, and I've been working with Meghan for just over 11 years. A story about Meghan that I can recall pretty vividly is we were competing at feats of strength at the cliffs of Valhalla once, and she had made it to finals in open and she was versing three other super strong female climbers. And it was just when she had come back from an injury, so it was kind of surprising that she made it to finals in the first place. But she did, and she crushed it. I don't think I've ever seen her push herself this hard, screaming at the top of her lungs, giving her everything on the wall. And at the end of the day, she should have won the competition and been scored higher than her other competitors, but due to a scoring error on the setter's part, one of them beat her, and she took it really gracefully, and And even though she knows she should have really won that competition, she didn't let it bring her down. And it was pretty inspirational to see that even if things don't always go your way, you can still be a good sport, have good confidence in yourself, and not let it get you down.
I have a lot of proud moments as a coach. I think probably the one that people think of the most is around the first time one of our kids won nationals. It's definitely, it's a really proud moment, but kind of as amazing as that was, my proudest moments are when I see my kids act with kind of incredible integrity and sportsmanship. So probably one of my proudest moments was one that no one really knows about, which is we had a kid on team who had been on team for a long time and was really working hard to move past divisionals to nationals for the first time. And she was given a score on one of her climbs that would have put her in the top 6 at that point, which would have qualified her for nationals. And so everyone was super excited for her. It was her first time qualifying. It was a really big deal. It was really impressive. And before the scores kind of fully came out, she was talking with other kids in her category, and she realized that they misscored her and they gave her too many points. And honestly, I didn't have to make any suggestion to her. She, on her own, wanted to have it fixed, and she did. She told me what the problem was, and I let the judges know, and the judges changed her score, and she didn't make nationals because of it. And I think that is one of my proudest moments, is the integrity of the kids on team.
Damn, I don't know. I don't know aside from to say a lot. She's, I don't know. She's been my mentor since I was 16 years old. So, she was a big deal for me, just in the sense that she's an openly gay woman, and I was an openly gay teenager who felt really lonely in the world, I guess. And she kind of represented a way to be fulfilled and to be happy.
So Crux is an organization that I started with another person, Danielle, out of the Rock Club, and it is New York's, or kind of the tri-states, LGBTQ climbing club, and it's gone far beyond what I ever imagined it to be. We really just wanted to make a safe space for climbers to climb, and now it's a nonprofit and has done so much good in the community and has introduced a lot of people to the sport and gives back to the community, and I think it really does what it's trying to do, of being a safe space for people and kind of a way to make sure that climbing feels really inclusive. It's definitely scary to think of climbing or of coaching the U.S. national team. That was my first feeling initially, and it's still scary sometimes. I don't know all the athletes necessarily, and it's at the top of where climbing is for youth competitors right now. So it feels like an ongoing challenge, but it's really exciting because every time I step into that, it's something new. It's really difficult. It pushes me as a coach. It pushes me as a coach on the spot, and it really enables me to come back to Team Rock and make sure that I'm preparing the kids as best as possible for the chance to be able to compete at that level as well. So I feel really fortunate and honored to be able to have that opportunity.
One of the things I've learned from Meghan is when your alarm goes off in the morning, wake up the first time. Don't set 10 alarms. Wake up the first time, get your day start going right, because if you set 10 alarms, then you're not going to get up until the last one, and you're going to be late to whatever you're trying to do anyway. So might as well just set one and get up.
I give a lot of advice to climbers, but I think probably the most important piece of advice is to love it. Do everything you can to keep loving it, because if you're trying to compete in climbing, you know, failure is guaranteed. Success is never guaranteed. So loving it is the thing that can keep you going for the longest. And I guess also finding whatever is a challenge for you and stepping into that, because it doesn't really matter what anyone else is doing. When you find the place that challenges you, to step into that and try to live that moment where it feels really scary and you do it anyway. So that, like, do it anyway is what we try to do on team, and what I think provides those really exciting, we call them like money moments. And I think that's where they come from.
I've been seeing your soul. Give me things that I wanted to know. Tell me things that you've done. I've been feeling old, I've been feeling cold. You're the heat that I know. Listen, you are my sun. I said there's more to life than rush. Not gonna leave this place with us. Drop the game, it's not enough. Hush, I said there's more to life than rush. Not gonna leave this place with us. Drop the game, it's not enough. I've been seeing